Guys, let's take it straight to where the calf has fallen. My name is Witness. Good morning, guys. I trust you are doing great wherever you are. Guys, having watched the Colonel Padayachee, the one and only that um, General Mkhwanazi spoke of many, many times. Guys, Colonel Padayachee, his story is not really taking us to anything that will suggest that indeed General Kumalo and others did something wrong when there was a brigadier who was coming from outside of subs who was employed, and they found in that irregularities. Let's try to make this one to make sense. Guys, you do recall the commissioner, National Commissioner Piecha. Where was she coming from? And once again, this is something which it had an external advert. It had an external advert, and in that, people applied with documents which made them to suit, let alone the South African Police Service experience. When you invite someone from outside for a position of brigadier, what do you then say? You say you are welcome even if you don't have a police experience. I think somewhere, somehow, there is jealousy. And remember, where is this Colonel Padayachee? If I call him right, but somewhere there. But where is he? Is in IDEC. And clearly, at this point, we now know that the charges that were put to General Kumalo and others, hey, they need to be investigated. They need to be checked, because there is no way that this Colonel Padayachee, he says what he says, and he came strong actually to General Mkhwanazi. Now on this commission, you know how commission is. We'll let you, say your side, say your story. Remember, the next day, it's a probe day. You will be probed to the point where you will feel like, you know what? Actually, General Mkhwanazi was right. General Mkhwanazi was right. Because as far as I see and as far as I hear, oh, wow. You know, there is, in life, there are people, who had years in service, and we cannot take that away from them. And they have amount of experience. But remember, what matters most, were you exposed to certain things during the course or in the time of service? Were you exposed to certain things? So far as he calculated only 3 or 4 matters in his whatsoever years, of service, that he managed to bring light to this investigation and that investigation. The question now is, Was he exposed enough to things? Because as he is being probed, he was asked a question by Commissioner Baloyi, if indeed, as I listened to that question, or as I listened to that statement made by Commissioner Baloyi, I was awakened a little bit, because I was like, actually, this even doesn't seem to make sense to him. He say he stood by what he said yesterday. It doesn't work like that. So you must listen carefully. You must listen carefully, because now, when Commissioner Baloyi says to him that, what was said, or what you said yesterday, you came strong about what was once said to you by General Mkhwanazi. With the experience that you have, and the years of service, don't you think what was brought to you by Advocate Johnson, as it looks like it's a HR matter, and the public sector could have dealt with it, and as far as we see, we don't see any criminality in here. Why did you take it and investigate it, and not tell your senior that, look, on the basis of your experience, there is nothing here, or there is no element of a crime here? Why did not say that? Dololo, he says is standing by what he said yesterday. So, in my personal conclusion, I concur with General Mkhwanazi in his statement. I truly concur. Aye, Dololo. No. Let's put it right. We are okay. He does have experience of many years. But when it comes to investigation, he speaks here, he speaks there. He doesn't speak the language that any investigator understands. So it will come back that actually there is absolutely nothing. I don't know how, by the way, was it placed on the roll. You see, there are things that needs to be investigated here. I don't know how, by the way, the case that they proposed to be there, how was this case placed on the roll? Remember, there is a case of assault where a General Khan, he doesn't want to be called Khan, but he's Khan. Khan, he assaulted, allegedly so, or to say he assaulted, because we could hear the sound, right, or the record, that the brigadier recorded him, because it seems like this abuse is abuse that comes way far, and in that they did not arrest him, in that they did not charge him. And what Advocate Johnson did, was totally wrong. She leaked documents which should have remained confidentially up until trial time. She leaked those documents and the records to General Khan, the person who testify in the commission of ad hoc committee. She testified there. She said that she don't speak the work language with the husband, and we know, or we knew, that was a lie. And now today we now know, we have facts in place that she was covering up for a friend, and she did that to protect Khan, and she did not make sure that the case, I believe she's the one who screened that docket, and she did not place it on the roll. Or I don't actually see the reason why that the other captain who went to inquire, actually to ask if is there sufficient evidence here to investigate this, is there sufficient evidence to charge. There was amount of evidence presented. Even there is a VN, there is a record in that regard. And what did it do? It did absolutely nothing. You don't go to prosecutors and ask if we can charge, or we can do this, we can do that. Why? You are given a case to investigate. Why do you go there? And for that matter, evidence is tantamount to something. Evidence is tantamount to something. Why do you then not do what you're supposed to do? Why? So I do want to say that it's very, very unfortunate that we have to sit and listen to this Colonel Padayachee in the case that he is investigating or that he is dealing with. Colonel Padayachee's experience in investigation is very, very little. And things that the successes that he counted for someone who, I would say, if he was 35 in service, I would say that. But for someone who started in 1985 as a policeman, and I don't know when he joined the detective side, but to have so few, I heard many stories of many investigators that I came across in this commission. They count lots of successes as investigators. Lots of successes. So it's quite confusing that this Colonel Padayachee really doesn't have experience in investigation. I can clearly say that. I don't have no doubt. I do not have no doubt. And again, I can clearly say he doesn't also have experience in testifying, because the way he testifies here and the way in which he doesn't even remember or recall that there are records that needs to pick one speaker at a time. He wants to talk over time and time over people, and he doesn't wait and listen carefully to what is being asked so that he can answer. If it's a direct question, you answer it yes or no, but he dwells into things that he's supposed not to. And gratification or irregular, all of those things, when he have to define them, it seems like he doesn't understand. Even excuse me, even corruption for that matter, it seems like he doesn't understand. For someone who you know, um, each and every crime, you know, if you say it's murder, for instance, then you must be able to understand what is murder in definition. When you come across something or a sin that is called murder, you need to understand, you need to analyze it. All elements are within this. Is it murder or culp, or there should be something. There should be something. You can't now come to the scene and say, because there is someone lying there dead, and call that scene, no, it's a murder. No, you need to understand what it is before you come to the conclusion of saying, what crime that has been committed here. Because it needs to meet all elements. If one is not there, then it cannot be. For instance, in murder, there should be intention. If intention is not there, then it cannot be murder. Then we take it to culp. And if one is missing also in culp, then we now have to put this in where? In inquest, to check it proper, to get like autopsies and all others things that needs to be get, so that we can then have a proper decision to say, you know what, even also statements that suggest something that sinister could have been done here, then we bring that to the to the right form of what? Charge, or to the right form of calling it with its way of saying, this is a murder, or this is a culpable homicide, or this is this is that. We need to put things the way or where they fit. You can't take something from the HR. Who's gonna do that job? Why are you taking and investigating HR matters? Because here, someone from outside who doesn't have experience, who is coming from BMW company, and that person applied with qualifications, and that person was invited, by the way, to come to this, to apply. And they applied, and she was interviewed, and she got it successfully. So it's not something that came at the back door, it's something that was advertised. And it happened to be that way, where someone of the outside became successful. It has nothing to do with the internal experience. It all has to do with, what do you have? What qualification do you have? What experience, life experience, work experience? It can be that, but has nothing to do with police experience. And now the foot is that, why these people, or why this person, was awarded this post, or was given this post, and yet this person is an outsider. We've got people here who have vast experience, but they don't have maybe qualification, or they did not apply, who knows what. But the matter of fact is that those people who are invited, they did not come on a back door. They were invited. The post was advertised for external. So they were invited. So they applied. So now, why you say the big post of crime intelligence and make this person as a brigadier. Let's come to one thing. It is with great understanding that Piecha was a national commissioner of police and she was coming from the banks. And remember, you cannot now say because of this person is coming from the outside. She was appointed also coming from the outside. And she has a knowledge of managing finances and this and that. Now, here, someone is brought in. You call this person doesn't have experience in a crime intelligence, but qualifications that they produce are right qualifications. Excuse me. And the post required that or require those qualifications. Why do you want people not to apply? Because they don't have like experience. Why? It cannot be correct. We need to fix that too, because the very big issue is that people block posts for people who have qualifications and saying that they don't have like a background of police, they don't have this, they don't have that. That is nonsense. You must study so that you can apply and you keep these jobs home, as you say, because it seems like it should be only the South African Police Service employees who apply in these jobs. No, this is a government-owned institution, and people with experience and with qualifications, they can apply. But it seems like in subs there are people they don't want to apply, and they don't want to apply, they always want to come or attend things in the attitude of, yeah, there was irregular there. That shouldn't be a case here. You check and scrutinize and check how the interviews were conducted. That should be your part of checking. And again, this shouldn't be something that has to be brought to attention of criminal side, because this has nothing to do with any whatsoever. But anyways, guys, on a lighter note, Colonel Padayachee, what General Mkhwanazi said about you, he was not wrong, sir. You lack the experience of an investigator or of investigation. You do lack that experience. You don't have that experience. You have years of service, but you don't have the experience. You are never exposed to many things that would have equipped you to be a experienced investigator. You lack that. You brought up your degree and all this, actually not your degree, your diplomas, and they date back to 1985, 1980, all of back years, but it's good to know that. But you brought us you spoke of 4 or 3, if I'm correct, successes. Wow. Of so many years. Wow. And now listen how he explained the docket carriers, those investigators who carry dockets. He kind of undermined them to that, or put them in the level that is very low. Remember, those are hard workers and they know what they do. And they've been in district court, regional court, and they've been in high court, some even higher than that, you know. So please don't undermine people who have vast experience, who knows how to testify, who understand how to, respond to questions that are asked, more special the direct questions that needs only yes or no. Please don't undermine those people, because of your now IDEC. You guys there, um, you have a thing about South African Police Service seniors. You have a thing. Whatever it is, the Madlanga Commission will expose it. Actually, it did. It started with you, sir. It started with you, sir. You are now exposed. You are now exposed. You do lack experience in investigation side. You took up a case that has nothing to do with uh, your side of investigation. Crime has nothing to do with crime or organized crime or whatsoever, but it has nothing. There is absolutely, even the descriptions of whatsoever that you place or given, that it has absolutely nothing solid says or suggests that there is this, there is that. No corruption, no irregularity, no this, no that. Coming with preka, explaining preka. You only go to things like, and one thing that seems to be off for me, it's how you brought up this one thing of saying, you said, in future, someone is correctly employed. Now you say there are some irregularities, and in those irregularities, there is that one thing that you think this person will work close with General Khumalo and others and do certain things for them, that gratification. For future, there is absolutely nothing. And you did not set up Section 252A to set a trap, or to say, set a trap and see if indeed something of this nature. You did not do scrutinize certain things. One thing that let me give you a briefing of maybe something that should have happened there, whereby you are investigating something that has nothing to, all you could do, assist the people. Say, okay, look, I'm going to go to HR, I'm going to do A and B and see how many panelists were there in that interview that occurred at the time when this person was appointed, or when this person was, brought up, brought to do the interview. Check how many panelists and how the interview was conducted. From there, check the qualifications and what does this job requires. It requires this qualification, a degree in this and degree in that, or check those. Does this person have qualification? Are those, don't talk about vetting. Surely you are not vetted. Because General Mkhwanazi came and said he himself at this point in time is not vetted. Because this vetting, it's a process, it takes time. And people comes to them many years later. So you might be vetted now because you are in IDEC, but the point of the matter is, a time when you are in subs, you are not vetted, sir. You are not. Now, speaking of vetting, surely that person doesn't have a criminal record because they did surely the clearance. But anyways, let's come to this thing. Let me assist you, sir. Those simple things, you know, do a preliminary investigation, you know, to support your statement of saying that there is absolutely, this is a matter of HR, like Commissioner Baloy. You could have only, where you are given it or you are instructed to do something, you do that and come with information that is tangible and say, look, Advocate Johnson, these are the documents, these are the things. This matter, as I said, it belongs to HR. It's something that public sector, within their ways, they can investigate. Why do you take something of HR and put crime in it and say there is a crime that was committed? But this is something that HR has to deal with within their own way. It's just trying to be spiteful to General Kumalo and others. You're now in the right place. You are telling yourself that we're gonna get them back. They absolutely have nothing, sir. And it's so unfortunate that you guys in IDEC are doing all these things. Now you are being exposed because now we know that Advocate Andrea Johnson, you know, uh, is gonna face charges because what she did, leaking information, sensitive information, a victim of a crime. She leaked information of a victim of a crime, to a suspect, which is General Khan. And again, you know, the investigator there did absolutely nothing. Did absolutely nothing because these people wants to be in good books, as they want to be in good books. It seems like in IDEC they are running a family thing because Advocate Johnson, what she did, leaking information and did not act, and he came bragging. She thought that she is in a safe space. I'm glad that information came out. I'm glad. We now know that she is not clean. And she must vacate that office because we don't want people who are corrupt and who have nepotism and who do not see it fit for others to do or to get justice in their cases. If it's someone who is a high ranking and close friend, they are not gonna do it, and they are chasing General Kumalo and others for no reason. These things they need to be looked at. I'm glad that this commission are existing. I'm glad that General Mkhwanazi brought this to the attention of us, the public. Because if he did not speak out and that media briefing did not happen, they were gonna chow him, in corners, and who knows what would have happened to him. I'm glad because now they are, or they've been doing things illegally so for many, many years, protecting each other. We cannot have criminals, in senior ranks. And I'm not just saying that. When you are rubbing shoulders with dangerous people and doing all these dirty things, that is why South African police service is so rotten to the core, because of the seniors that are busy doing illegal stuff, unlawful things. Whenever whoever have a case, a friend have a case, they try to intimidate the juniors who are investigating those cases and tell them, hey, look, bring that docket here. No, they are not asking you to bring the docket so they scrutinize it. No, they want to check the facts that are there and destroy that docket or keep that docket. When you request for that docket, you won't get that docket because it's with them protecting whosoever. You see? Now, the investigation was enough for that investigating officer, that captain, to apply his mind. There was no need actually even to apply your mind in that. It's doing what is right. Doing what is right. Because on that record that the brigadier made, that was enough itself. That was enough itself. As far as he went, you poke someone with a pen, so disrespectful. So, that's abuse. Poking someone with a pen. Your colleague, by the way. Because it's for us, it's clear that this is something that was not, it was not its first time. She knew, and that is why she had to record, because she knew what was coming for her. If she did not record that, and if the colonel or the captain then did not assist in keeping that information that she was told to delete, guys, these abuse that are happening in offices, because that brigadier is someone's wife. And at the beginning of this year, the colonel, spoke about the abuse within the office by the senior. And he ended up unaliving himself. And what about the juniors that are experiencing things? Remember, this is not your farm. This is not your organization. You are employed there. You are employed there. Because you disrespected that woman at first by not closing her office. You want to speak with her as if she is a junior. She is also in management. Now you speak with her as if you are speaking with you are scolding your daughter, poking her. How disrespectful that is. No, man, Khan. You must come and testify to Madlanga Commission. Anyways, it's okay. You don't have to. But the level of abuse that you caused to that woman, it's sad. It's sad. I won't go far, but Colonel Padayachee, no, man. No, man. I'm just gonna sign it out by saying that you are what General Mkhwanazi said you are. Because the case that you are bragging about, there is no case there. There is not inch of any element of a crime that you speak of there. So you guys are going to be exposed with your dirty things that you are busy doing in IDEC. I asked this question, what is this IDEC for? Is to investigate police, or is it to investigate government entities, equally so, respectfully so, without any interference of whosoever? But clearly, we now see that Kumalo was arrested with other members. For what reason? For this reason. There is absolutely nothing here to investigate Colonel Padayachee. You guys, wow, you are such a mafia. Let me put it in this way. You are a mafia that is busy building and that at some point will try to overthrow the government. You are a building whatsoever that seems to be very, very off. Someone comes and complain to you guys and say there was irregular that was done by the General Khumalo and others by employing the brigadier who has no insight of subs. Let me ask this question and ask also Fedal, what does an external advertisement mean to you? If they advertise a post externally, so does it mean that people outside there or in the public should not apply? Let me say this so that maybe one can be in a better understanding. It applies also for people who are outside to come and serve this government, to come and serve its people. And I salute that brigadier who was given the post. There was absolutely nothing wrong there. And there is no crime committed by Khumalo and others. It's like you are chasing, someone who have absolutely no ball on their position. But anyways, it's so nice in this country. We have seen it. We now know that someone who can just put but anyway, let me not. But I want to come to this one thing that seems or suggests that but anyways, we had seen it and we now know. Fidel, he's working with IDEC. He is working with IDEC, and as he is working with IDEC, there was absolutely nothing, because he was discrediting everything that was said and done by General Mkhwanazi. And I knew from that there is something that the side he is working, how dare, he speaks of General Khumalo and things that they have done. What it is, we now know. There is absolutely nothing. And they did such a great thing where he thought that he will have a special treatment when they took him to the cells in Cape Town, from Cape Town to KZN. They did the right thing. They were, they can call whatsoever, but they did the right thing. So who's supposed to sit in the back of a van? A politician cannot sit in the back of a van. Only us who can sit in the back of a van. You know, I salute those members who did the job right. They did the job right. People are crying, complaining that MP is sitting in a, no, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. So whose son was supposed to sit in the back of a van? But anyways, thank you guys. On a lighter note, take care and be safe out there. Guys, be careful out there. Don't, when you see the robots are red and the area is safe for you to drive and you stop and then you get hijacked, that's on you guys. You know what are the rules of the road. Check your rules of the road and understand. They say if it's safe to do so, do so. You can't now put yourself in danger on a high hijacking zone. But anyway, guys, take care and I thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and thank you for your support. Salute.